What was done to us during the civil rights movement. We had momentum, we had objective, but the dominant society used our women to divert our energy towards our liberation into into feminism. Well, let's be careful about people coming and diverting our objective. Our objective is to get fucking cash reparations. Cash reparations. If land is a byproduct, cool. But we're looking for cash reparations. And in addition, what we're looking for is like Dr. Claude. We're not reinventing a goddamn thing. Dr. Claude Anderson said we're an exceptional people. We need an exception written in our name. We need to be identified as an exceptional ethnic group, whether it's foundational Black American, Solon, Freedman, or all of the above. I'm cool with it. Just it needs to be codified in law that we are this to gatekeep everything that comes to us. Because all of our money, all of our resources have been jujitsu'd out of our fucking hands. Lulu, what's on your mind? Lulu the bear, what's up? Lulu going once. Lulu going twice. Lulu probably fell asleep or something. So here we go, Kush. Are FBA's claiming Anthony Joshua win as an FBA win? Well, before we even go into that, he beat the shit out that white boy.
He did, didn't he?
That white boy got his ass whooped. But what do you think? Are we claiming that as a win?
My answer is emphatically no. No, we are not. Foundational Black Americans are not taking the Anthony Joshua win and claiming it as our own. We are not looking for a long-lost grandmother of his that's from Alabama, Mississippi, or from the Carolinas, or from Boston, and in some way trying to say that he is of the lineage. I'll say for myself, I haven't seen or heard anybody doing that. I've seen the win. And if I must be honest, I feel like those type of fights remind me a little bit of wrestling, if you will. Like it's a put on, it's for entertainment purposes. We had our time to kind of rally behind the whole Jake Paul thing with Mike Tyson. So we really didn't need to care too much about this Anthony Joshua. I don't even know who he is, to be honest. So I want to look at the numbers to see how many people tuned in for the Mike Tyson fight with Jake Paul versus the Anthony Joshua fight with Jake Paul, just to kind of get the numbers. But I say all of that to say that I didn't hear any of us even talking about, hey, or you want to watch it, is it upcoming? I didn't see anybody tweeting about it. I didn't see anybody really care about it. I don't think that we as foundational Black Americans really cared. The way the knockout came is probably what has got our attention. I've seen people making memes about it, saying that they would fight white supremacy in the way that Anthony Joshua went up and knocked out Jake Paul, things like that. But aside from making a meme out of it, no, we're not trying to make him in any way be a part of the ethnic Black American, foundational Black American, American freedman lineage in any type of way. He has not identified in that way. He has a strong British accent. I've seen videos with him draped in a Nigerian flag. He has a Nigerian name. 2 of them, actually. So, yeah, he's a British Nigerian, a Nigerian British. I don't know what you call him, but that's what he is. Good for him that he won. And moving on to the next. That ain't got nothing to do with us, if we're being honest. And I yield the mic.
Well, I was a heavy boxing fan back in the day. Me and my dad, we used to love fucking. Y'all remember, those of you old enough to remember, like a young Mike Tyson. That shit was that was like watching a Marvel movie. But I don't really even care about the fight. Why? Because the white boy that he fought didn't pay his dues. Like, to be a boxer, you have to come up through the lower leagues. Like, you earn your chops, you know what I'm saying? And to my understanding, that white boy that got his ass whooped kind of leveraged, and this, according to our brother Tariq, leveraged his his fame as a celebrity to kind of jump ahead of a lot of fighters and fight Anthony Joshua. So that's indicative as a former fighter myself, martial artist rather. That's indicative. Like, we knew he was gonna get his ass whooped. So I'm just saying that wasn't even a fair match. So why would we even praise Anthony Joshua? Now, I'm not a hater. Good job, Anthony Joshua. And it was a good show the way you whooped up on him, knocking his goddamn teeth, his mouth guard out. But it wasn't really a fair fight. But he can have the win, and it don't got nothing to do with us. We don't give a fuck. We got our own superheroes to praise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's just kamikaze TV. Of course, that just shows you the links that white people will go to get a bag. That was a staged ass whooping. Kush had the perfect analogy. It's almost like wrestling, like WrestleMania or some stuff. So nobody really takes Jake Paul fight seriously because we kind of know the outcome. It's either going to be fixed or it's going to end up, it's going to end up in him getting hurt, because these are trained fighters that can really hurt him. He's done some training, but he's not a professional boxer, not an experienced professional boxer. And so that's just for clicks and views. Just made pay-per-view where the clicks and views just have more money, and I understand they both came away with like a $92 million payday each. So somebody's going to have at least two households going to have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you're right. And I tried to get into boxing back in Birmingham, and that shit's so intense. It wasn't for me, man. Like the type of training that a boxer does, man. You might be going to the toilet and peeing blood. You know what I'm saying? The weight restrictions, the dietary restrictions, the intensity of the reason why I bring that up is once you do the work in boxing, you can't fake that shit. Man, you're not gonna go up there and fake, whooping somebody's ass. You either gonna match up or you gonna get your ass knocked the fuck down. Go ahead, Dr. Ward.
Oh yeah, about that Anthony Joshua fight. I mean, as far as I know, Anthony Joshua, even though he's Nigerian, I don't think he's a coon. I haven't heard him. If someone can correct me, but I don't think he said anything against FBAs. So he seems to be a cool guy as far as I know. But why did Jake Paul let Anthony Joshua beat the shit out of him, but he didn't let the FBA boxers beat the shit out of him? Floyd actually knocked his ass out, but Floyd had to pick him up to start because in the contract, the fight had to go on. Same thing with Mike Tyson. Why didn't he let Mike Tyson knock his ass out?
Right.
There was could he not stand the mental damage of being knocked out by a black American, but he could let a Nigerian knock his ass out? So that was just something that caught my eye. I yield the mic.
It's
Hey,
also
hold on for a minute. I want to correct the brother.
Go ahead, Hauser.
Mayweather never fought him. He fought his brother.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got it back.
Yeah, Logan Paul. Yeah, Jake Paul and Logan Paul.
They all look alike. Yes, and when it comes to this brother here, Joshua, he's not FBA like they just said, and he's not a top-notch boxer anyway. He ran from the champs. He's got a glass jaw.
Yep.
Yeah, very good. A nice glass jaw professor.
That shit got broke the other night.
No, I'm talking about Joshua, the big man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got a glass jaw in boxing.
Who are young
Yeah, I
FBA
remember
boxers?
that fight. He got his ass beat by a fat-ass Mexican.
Yeah, Mexican two-piece him. And after that, he never got right after that. After that, he never got right. So he had to come down. But I'm not mad at him because, like the brother just said, 50 to 92 million that they split.
Wow.
After 6 rounds of trash.
That's a pretty good. That's a nice bag, man.
That's a nice come up. That's a nice come up.
Right.
So I just googled for streaming. For Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, it said the most live streams, the most viewers for a live stream was 108 million viewers. For this fight with Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul was like 60 million viewers or something to that extent. So again, to Seven Ford's point, maybe Jake Paul didn't want over 100 million people seeing him getting knocked out by Mike Tyson. But again, I think at the end of that fight, a lot of people felt like it was contractual that that fight go the distance, that Jake Paul not be knocked out, and that neither would Mike Tyson. Because again, Tyson, I don't think, even though he looks slower than what we're used to seeing, and people can say, oh, well, he's older, he's this or that. I think Tyson still got it up in him if we being honest. Even with them having him in prison, jail, or whatever, he had him in prison. They didn't even let him train because they wanted him to lose his strength, his power. They wanted him to lose that in prison. They didn't even let him train. But even still, I feel like Mike Tyson still had it in him. But again, I think that contractually it was one of those things that neither one of us will hit the mat. I wasn't there to negotiate the contract, so I don't know what it said in the contract. That's just how it looked to me. Because 108 million people, they knew that was going to bring in a lot of viewers to see Mike Tyson. Nobody was there to see Jake Paul. Now, and the reason that's why I bring up the viewers for the live stream. When it came down to the FBA boxer, when it came down to Mike Tyson, again, somebody who has earned his heavyweight belts. We have seen his ups and his downs. We've seen things about him play out publicly. People are showing up to see Mike Tyson. Let's be real. I did not show up to see Jake Paul. I showed up to see Mike Tyson. And I think a lot of people did. Now, with this Anthony Joshua person, the reason why I bring this up about claiming wins is because I have seen some of the tethers saying, oh, FBA, so you cannot use the Anthony Joshua picture as a meme. You cannot use that. He's Nigerian. Excuse you? What do you mean? 60 million views. Where were the rest of the Nigerians? So it's a whole billion of y'all over in Africa. Y'all can hop on the internet to get on Twitter to harass us, to hop on TikTok to harass us, but y'all couldn't get on the internet to go up there and support your fellow African. So we're not claiming the win, but it speaks volumes to the fact that Anthony Joshua's fellow Africans, where were y'all at to support your mans? We showed up for Mike Tyson. And not just us, but the world showed up, which goes back to our cultural contributions worldwide. People show up for FBAs. As Housen said, this Anthony Joshua, I don't know him from a can of paint. He could be sitting next to a Sherwin-Williams can of paint. I still couldn't tell the difference. But Housen said that he got a glass jaw. I don't even know the man's name.
Yeah,
but for 60 million views, where were the Africans to show up to get them views up?
Yeah, it's something about us. Back to the question I beg every 6 months. Who are we? Really? Mike Tyson was so legendary that people still watch his old fights. You know what I'm saying? But back to Anthony Joshua right quick, because I could talk about Mike Tyson all day. His story is fucking beautiful. But to answer your question, Kush, why didn't they show up for Anthony Joshua? Well, let's go to Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson, page 111, Black Labor, White Wealth, says Black West African sense of community is narrowly and divisively based upon tribal origins rather than the commonality of black skin color and collective racial destiny. So in all actuality, Nigerians probably saw him and was like, I'm not watching this fight. He's a Igbo. I'm a whatever the fuck they're called. So they jealous of his ass. Dr. Anderson says tribal and extended family commitments rarely extend beyond the village compound. What am I using him to point out? Here's a secret, FBAs. Africans are not united. If you've noticed, ladies and gentlemen, Since we've stepped our ass out of this issue and stopped trying to protect people and let them hold their own nuts, they are going at each other. The Haitians and the Somalians are going at each other. We are the glue that holds all this shit together. We hold whites together. We're the reason the word white exists. I'll never forget in my dorm room at Elliott Hall years ago, which was full of Europeans. And they all hung out in my dorm room because I had a computer. My mom sent me a computer. Nobody had a computer. I called them white one day and they were so confused. They're like, what is white? I'm German. No, I'm Italian. I'm Dutch. Like, they didn't know what white was. And I got a hint way back then that white is a term used to unite them against us. The best thing we could have did is stepped outside that line and say, hey, hold your own nuts. Because they've never held their own nuts. They're turning on each other. But back to Mike Tyson. Man, have y'all seen the Mike Tyson story, the documentary? He had a trainer named Cus D'Amato. He was an Italian. And Cus D'Amato said he summoned Mike. Like, he had a ritual where he summoned him. Mike Tyson's story is so outrageous, it's magical. Mike said he learned how to start boxing because he was 12 years old. I forget the neighborhood housing.
Black students, we need to know our history.
The black history we're being taught in public schools is repetitive.
As a black high school student, I want to learn more about my history in the school books.
We need to update our books.
As black American students, we deserve an accurate depiction of what black history truly is.
I want to see myself in these textbooks.
In the public school system, black history is vague.
Why don't the school books ever talk about the Freedmen's Bureau?
I created the workbook for the African American family. This book helps fill in the gaps that the school books don't. Purchase the workbook for the African American family on ourstorypublications.com and use the Cash App, $, Our Story Publications.